Hello everybody, today we received a package from a store with Chinese goods. Let's open it up and see what was sent to me. And inside there are a lot of packs of instant noodles. There are both ultra expensive noodles and very cheap ones. Today we will try all these types of noodles and understand what varieties there are. And let's start with the cheapest. It's egg noodles with chicken flavor, and it only costs 35 cents. We open it up and toss it into a bowl. In addition to the noodles, there are 2 bags with butter and spices. We open them up and send them into a bowl. All that's left to do is heat up some water. And pour in 300 milliliters of boiling water as written in the instructions. Cover it up with a lid and let the noodles brew for exactly 5 minutes. That's it, they're ready. Now we just have to mix them up with the broth. Let's try it. Okay, this is your pretty standard noodles. I think that a lot of people knows what these taste like. As they say, like top for your money. The next noodles are 4 times more expensive at $1.30, but this is understandable because it has a seafood taste. Let's open it up and throw it into a bowl. Okay, so here we don't have egg noodles, but rice noodles, and also as many as 3 little sachets. We will open them up one by one. The first one contains seasoning. The second one, dried vegetables. And the third, fish oil with various flavorings and flavors of seafood. It says in the package to fill it up with 400 milliliters of water. These noodles will be steamed for 7 minutes. It's ready. Let's take off the lid and mix the noodles. As for me, it already looks better than the first one. Now we need to try it. Yeah, these noodles are way more delicious as the first one. It's interesting to try the broth. It's very rich and really tastes like seafood. Very tasty. Next in line is instant noodles from Korea, and it costs as much as $3. Let's open it up. So here we have egg noodles and only 2 little bags. We open them up. Oh, I immediately smelled a super chemical cheese additive. Judging by the color, this is cheddar. The second bag also has a cheese flavor, but of a different kind. Let's pour the boiling water up into the line, close the lid, and fix it in place with chopsticks. According to the instructions, it takes only 4 minutes to brew. Korean noodles are ready for $3. Mix them up. It absorbed a lot of the water, and the smell of cheese really permeates the entire studio. Well, let's try them. Okay, the noodles taste worse than the previous one, but better than the first. Let's try the broth. Well, that is interesting. It's really chemical. Okay, so we got to the premium segment, and these Chinese noodles cost as much as $8. Judging by the picture, there should be a really beautiful full-fledged ramen in here. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, there is so much inside of here. There's like a record number of bags. We even had to call the Chinese store to have them explain what is inside each of them. And to understand how to cook these noodles, you can't really do without an interpreter. In general, it turned out that it needed to be boiled. So pour a half liter of water into a saucepan. And then add in the broth. It's half beef, half chicken. Next, add the rice noodles, similar to the one in the second bag. Next to the greens. As we were told, this is dried algae, so we pour them into a saucepan. The next bag is even more interesting. It contains soy asparagus and edamame beans. I've never heard of this, so let's add it in. and put them on the stove. The instructions said cook for 12 minutes, stirring occasionally. But surprisingly, our noodles were ready in just 5 minutes. So therefore, let's take the pan off the stove and pour everything into a deep dish. So far, this is the largest portion of today. But that's not it. The set also includes a mixture of vegetables and a woody mushroom. So open them up and add them in. So these aren't really dried, but pickled. Now we just have the package with the royal oyster mushrooms, and we also add those in. Mix the noodles one more time. Okay, this already looks pretty decent. There are a lot of different ingredients besides the noodles themselves. Let's try it. To be honest, this is not what I expected at all. I thought that there'd be some sort of like sweet and sour Chinese flavor here. And in fact, the taste of stewed meat with pasta. Let's try the broth. Delicious, but again, just like homemade soup. And let's move on to the king of instant noodles for as much as $18. This is a pretty hefty box with some very interesting instructions. As I understand it, these noodles can be brewed without even having hot water. Let's open up the box. And this is packed to the brim with different bags. Moreover, they all look like they were in expensive dry rations. There are 7 bags of different types in total. Let's start with the biggest one. There were vegetables in it. To be honest, I never thought that in instant noodles, vegetables could look like this, just like fresh ones. Next, we were gonna open up the bulky but light bag. We have rice noodles in here. Something tells me that there should be meat in the third bag. Just look at the hefty pieces of meat in there. The next package is with rice pads. Next, open up the little bag that'll give us the taste to the whole broth. And pour it into the bowl. That's it, we take out the bowl from the larger container and open the bag with the heating element. We put this in the bottom of the black container, and that's all have to do is just add some water. This pad is saturated, and then the chemistry inside reacts and the water boils instantly. You can put the bowl with food on top and also pour some water into it. You also need to pour in some special seasoning. That's it, close the lid. And we wait for 15 minutes. Done. Everything looks really appetizing. We still have the last bag from the set and it has cutlery inside of it. They're like little extenders for the sticks, thanks to which they become a normal size. Now we stir the noodles. And let's try it. Okay, this is super good. I was especially surprised by the taste of the meat. It is perfect. And now for the broth. It is barely spicy, super saturated, and with a sweet and sour taste. It is just perfect. These instant noodles are just 10 out of 10. And although they're not cheap, I would say that I'd buy a couple of them just to have on reserve so that I wouldn't have to wait for delivered Chinese food, but simply like 15 minutes and get a dish and no worse. The link to all these noodles is in the description. If you order them, then you'll be able to get these noodles very quickly. According to the link in the description, I left the same store where I bought it for myself. Be sure to drive the promo code in VANZAI and get yourself a discount. As soon as you try this unrealistic instant noodles, then go back to the comment section and let me know which kinds you liked. It'll be very interesting for me to read. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this a like. Bye, everybody.